Welcome to our channel. Today, we're diving into an important topic: boundaries. You know, those invisible lines we draw around our time, our energy, our emotions. They're essential for our well-being, yet so many of us struggle with them. Do you often feel overwhelmed or taken advantage of? Find yourself saying yes when you really want to scream no? It might be time to talk about setting some better boundaries in your life. The thing is, we often think of boundaries as being selfish or mean, but really, they're an act of self-respect. They're about honoring our own needs and limits and communicating those needs clearly and honestly to the people around us. It's about saying, this is what I'm comfortable with, and this is what's not okay for me. So, let's get real for a minute. Let's talk about some signs that you might need better boundaries, and how to start reclaiming your time, your energy, and your emotional well-being. Let's talk about overwhelm. That feeling of being completely swamped, like you're drowning in to-dos and obligations. You're constantly on edge, feeling pulled in a million different directions. Sound familiar? This, my friends, is a huge red flag that your boundaries need some attention. See, when we don't set clear boundaries, we end up taking on too much. We say yes to every request, every favor, every obligation, even when our plates are already overflowing. And then, we wonder why we're exhausted, stressed, and resentful. We start snapping at our loved ones, feeling completely depleted. But here's the thing, it doesn't have to be this way. Recognizing that overwhelm is a sign, a signal from your mind and body telling you something's gotta change. It's your inner voice screaming, hey, I need some space to breathe here. It's time to listen to that voice, to honor your limits, and to start saying no more often. Have you ever found yourself saying yes when your heart was screaming no? Yeah, me too. It's like this automatic response, this people-pleasing reflex that kicks in, even when we know it's not good for us. We worry about disappointing others, about seeming selfish, about rocking the boat. But here's the thing about saying yes when we mean no: it breeds resentment. It eats away at us, leaving us feeling used, unappreciated, and completely burnt out. We end up giving and giving until there's nothing left for ourselves. Learning to say no is a game changer, my friends. It's about setting healthy boundaries, about protecting our time and energy. It's about recognizing that our needs are just as important as everyone else's. And you know what? It gets easier with practice. Start small. Start with saying no to something that feels manageable, and notice how it feels to honor your own needs. Let's talk about emotional boundaries, those limits we set around our feelings and our emotional well-being. This is about recognizing that we are not responsible for other people's happiness. We can be supportive, we can be loving, but we cannot carry the weight of their emotions for them. It's easy to fall into the trap of feeling responsible for fixing other people's problems, for making them feel better. But here's the hard truth. We can't pour from an empty cup. When we constantly take on other people's emotional baggage, we end up depleted, exhausted, and emotionally drained. Setting emotional boundaries means learning to separate our own emotions from the emotions of others. It's about recognizing that we're not responsible for fixing their problems, for making them happy, or for shielding them from pain. It's about offering support without taking on their burdens as our own. Conflict. It's a word that makes many of us cringe, right? We avoid it like the plague, preferring to keep the peace, even if it means swallowing our own needs and feelings. But here's the thing about conflict. It's inevitable. It's a natural part of any relationship, and avoiding it only makes things worse. When we constantly avoid conflict, we allow resentment and frustration to fester. We sweep issues under the rug, hoping they'll magically disappear, but they never do. They just keep resurfacing, often in bigger and uglier ways. Setting boundaries often involves navigating difficult conversations, expressing our needs, and sometimes even disagreeing with others. It's not about being aggressive or confrontational. It's about being assertive, about communicating our needs clearly and respectfully. And sometimes, it's about having the courage to walk away from relationships that are no longer serving us. How many of you feel guilty when you take time for yourself? Like you should be doing more, giving more, being more for everyone else. This, my friends, is a classic sign of poor boundaries. We live in a culture that glorifies busyness, that tells us our worth is tied to our productivity. But here's the truth. You deserve rest. You deserve to recharge, to do things that bring you joy, to prioritize your own well-being, and you don't need to feel guilty about it. Self-care isn't selfish. It's essential. It's about filling your own cup so you can show up as the best version of yourself for the people you love. It's about honoring your own needs and recognizing that you can't pour from an empty cup. So, go ahead, schedule that massage, take that yoga class, read that book. You deserve it. Thanks for watching. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more content on personal growth and well-being. Remember, setting boundaries is a crucial step towards a healthier, happier life. It's about recognizing your worth, honoring your needs, and communicating those needs with courage and compassion. It's about learning to say no without guilt, to prioritize your well-being, and to cultivate relationships that are built on mutual respect and understanding. It's a journey, not a destination, and it takes time, practice, and a whole lot of self-compassion. But I promise you, it's worth it.